The Comrades Marathon elite runners have vowed to produce nothing less than fireworks in Sunday's race, the 49th uprun since the ultramarathon's inception back in 1921. More than 20,000 runners are expected to line up at the Durban City Hall on Sunday morning for the grueling challenge of the 85.91 kilometers to Pietermaritzburg. Comrades Marathon Association chairperson Mqondisi Ngcobo joins us now for a preview into this weekend's exciting Comrades activities. Mapaloba, such a pleasure having you with us. Thank you so much for joining us. Look, how are the preparations for the biggest marathon this side of the equator going this weekend?
We are very excited. We've got less than 2 days. We opened our expo yesterday and we had our media briefing at 2 this morning. All our top contenders were really showing what they're looking forward to on Sunday. And it's going to be an exciting and exhilarating event on Sunday. And we have no doubt Naganjan is going to be exciting.
Mapaloba, 20,000 runners that you're expecting at the start as well as finish line, hopefully. What are some of the safety precautions that participants as well as supporters have to adhere to?
Absolutely, we've tried to ensure that we warn our athletes, especially about some of the bottlenecks around the Westwood area in Durban. That will be about 6 to 7 Ks into the race. Obviously, we've put some safety measures in place. The last 30 kilometers of the race, there are roadworks, and we are also advising athletes to ensure that they share information with all their supporters and all families who are going to be lining up along the route, trying to ensure that they support them, that even when they plan their day on Sunday morning, if you are in Maritzburg and you are going to be traveling to Durban, try and ensure that you put at least aside 2 hours to ensure that you travel safely and you get to the start line without having to panic.
Now, as a fan of the race, I've seen quite a lot of runners having some medical complications either during or after the race. So what plans do you have in place to deal with medical emergencies alongside the routes and all the way to the finish line?
We have about 8 medical stations along the route. We also have about 8 physiotherapy stations along the route to ensure that if runners experience problems in terms of the medical side of things, they're able to get assistance. We've got an emergency chopper on standby. We have motorbikes, about more than 10 ambulances, in fact 21 ambulances on the road to ensure that our medical, we always pride ourselves as saying that our medical setup is the biggest medical setup for a sporting event, and everything is in place to ensure that if there are any medical complications, we are there to ensure that we assist our athletes.
And some of us, Mapaloba, who did not qualify this year, maybe take us through the requirements to actually try again next year. In fact, how long does one have to have been training, and what type of rigorous training regime will hopefully get you to the qualifiers?
Obviously, for a qualifier, for a standard marathon, we look at 4 hours, 50 minutes for an athlete to be able to do that. And obviously, in terms of the number of the mileage that we normally advise athletes, depending on what medal or what target they're looking to, anything between 1,200 and 1,500 kilometers as part of their mileage, will obviously put them in a good state to ensure that they are able to, to run the race and be able to cope with the demands of our humbling route from the city of Durban to the city of choice in Pietermaritzburg.
And what is at stake for the winners this year, Mapaloba? What are they taking home besides a prestige as well as bragging rights to be part of this historic race?
For the winner, for the first time in the history of the race, if you are a South African winner, you will definitely pocket more than R1 million, because for winning the race, we are going to be walking away with 825,000. And if you are a South African, there will be an added 250,000, which is an exciting because one of our sponsors has come on board to ensure that we increase the prize money. Remember that post-COVID, we had to decrease the price purse because of some of the financial constraints that we're facing post-COVID. But we ensured our athletes that we work tirelessly around the clock to ensure that we get our financial situation back on track, to ensure that we pay. We are very excited and grateful that this year, for the first time, the winner is going to be pocketing 825,000. And obviously, we have introduced the fastest average pace. If you are able to break the fastest average pace, you get an extra 500,000. And if you also break the best time for men, it's 5:24 for the up run, and for the ladies, you remember it was posted by our reigning champion Gerda Steyn in 2019 in our last up run. It's a time of 5 hours, 58 minutes and 53 seconds. You also get an extra 500,000. So they stand a chance of a winner standing a chance of getting up to more than 2 million rands.
You must really get those poly shorts ready. In closing, Mapoloba, I mean, I'm glad you mentioned COVID there. Talk to us about some of the changes since COVID that have been incorporated into the race to ensure the safety of those participants. And out of the 20,000 that has registered, are you able to tell us at this stage how many are South African?
South Africans, the South African field is more than 17,000, and we have about 1,200 athletes from the rest of the world, more than 70 countries, and obviously more than 1,000 athletes that are from the African continent, which then takes the tally or the total number of starters to more than 20,500, which is exciting times because the numbers have been increasing. It means that the power of the brand continues to shine and shine high, and we are hoping that we're going to have another spectacle on Sunday and produce another world-class event.
Mapoloba, thank you so much for that, and best of luck. We'll be watching from the sidelines because most of us didn't qualify this year. That was Mqondisi Ngcobo, the CMA chairperson, just giving us a heads up of Sunday's Comrades Marathon this weekend. Hopefully, you all have your poly shorts in order.